Welcome to the Texas Home and Garden Show here at NRG Center in Houston. I'm with Janice Brown of On the Grow. Today Janice talked to our audiences about growing potatoes and tomatoes and also planting their own succulents for an indoor garden. Janice, what are some of the questions that you've been getting here at NRG as about things to grow in their garden, or questions about succulents or anything like that?
Oh, okay. Some of the questions that I've been getting, especially about tomatoes, because tomatoes are America's favorite vegetable to try to grow. And they can be pretty easy if you have some know-how to help you along. So the biggest question that I've gotten is that most people see tomatoes as a summer vegetable, something that you grow throughout the summer. And that is true if you live up north,
Right.
But down here in Texas, it's a late winter, early spring crop. So you want to try to get your plant as big as you can during February, and then you want to get it in the ground as fast as you can. As soon as we know that we're not going to have any more freezes, then you're safe to put it out in the ground and really start feeding it and get it healthy so that you get as many tomatoes as you can before about May, June, because then your plant's going to peter out. And just know that if it peters out during the summertime, it's not you, it's the Texas heat.
So some questions I had. So what's the best type of tomato for a Houston climate?
That's a good question. We can grow all types of tomatoes. That's what really kind of makes it nice about living in Houston. And the nice thing is that in fall you can plant tomatoes again and get a second crop. So we have kind of two springs here. But I would have to say the smaller tomatoes, like the Roma tomatoes, are much sweeter. And they tend to last longer in the heat. So the smaller the tomato, the longer it's actually going to last you through the summer.
That's good because I love Roma tomatoes. Those are my favorite.
Awesome, me too.
So one of the things we had you doing here is working with audiences to plant their own succulents. So I guess could you kind of take us through that? Like what's the benefit of having a succulent here in Houston?
Oh, okay. The benefit of having a succulent here in Houston is that it's hot, and succulents love heat. And one thing nice about succulents are they're an easy plant to grow in an indoor environment. So if you're someone who feels like you really don't have a green thumb, this is the plant for you because they thrive on neglect. Like I told our audiences today, water once a month. I literally have some that I've done in years past. I have them on a low windowsill that it's covered by a table, so I really don't notice it very much. And every so often I walk over there and I say, oh yeah, there's those plants. And I may throw a little water on it that time, maybe not. So, and they still look wonderful, but they really thrive on that neglect. So I would say that would be the best reason to grow them here in Houston.
And they also they do okay with our wacky weather. Like, yesterday it was raining and today it's cold, so.
Exactly. Yeah, they can take very much cold. You'd be surprised at what they can take. The hardest freeze that we did have this year kind of gave them a hard time if they're outside. But if they're outside and they can get rain, make sure they're in something with lots of holes in the bottom so that water drains out. But even with our rainy season, sometimes I have some that are on the back patio. As long as they get drained, then they're fine.
And one last question, you often work with children in terms of trying to get them into gardening. What are some tips for parents where, they can get their little ones digging in the dirt for, hopefully vegetables?
Well, I would say for parents trying to get their children into growing things and growing vegetables, I would say go with something that's fast and something that's fun. So radishes are one thing that are a fast grower. You can get a radish pretty much from seed to ready to go on the table in 1 month's time. So that usually is a crop that will get kids hooked because it's fast for them. Kids are not as patient as we are. Carrots are something that's fun. It takes carrots several months to grow, but most kids really love carrots. And you can get all kinds of varieties, so make it fun. So you can have like red carrots, and you can have purple carrots, and orange and yellow. And so those are fun because kids are not so used to seeing those fun colors.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for joining us this weekend. We're very happy to have you, and thank you for joining us as well. I hope you learned something great. This has been Audrey Leon and Janice Brown at Texas Home and Garden Show in NRG in Houston, Texas.